And we start with Palm Desert, California. Hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Hal. This is a great show. It's really a treat for me. Hal, your work entails a body of work that would take longer than anybody can imagine. It really is amazing, literally. I guess it would be easier to list the people that you have not worked with.
What's the question?
Yeah, the work you've done, I enjoyed the drumming you did with the rhythm section for the Mamas and the Papas with with the group of Joe Osborne and Larry Nectel. How was that particular sound arrived at? I think Bones Hal produced. I mean, with the...
Yeah, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Well, it's just one of those things. I'm happy to talk to Palm Desert. It's my neighbor. It was just one of those things that evolved. The Mamas and Papas came in. Lou Adler sat us down, and away we went. John Phillips started singing.
Do you know a lot of these hits? Were you a good forecaster? Were you able to say this one's going to make it?
No. I felt like I hoped that it would. Once in a while, you played a Bridge Over Troubled Water. You knew something big was going to happen. And Simon and Garfunkel were so big. Mamas and Papas, when we did the first song, I think, California Dreamin', who knew? These were a motley-looking crew that walked in. Who knew how incredible they were?
Did you like Sinatra Strangers in the Night right away?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Atlanta, hello.
Larry, if I can be very quick, and I have three very quick ones.
Go ahead.
Number one, did you know a drummer named Shelly Manne?
Absolutely.
Great drummer.
Right. Number two, did Dennis Wilson not play on the Beach Boys records?
Dennis Wilson did not play on the Beach Boys records.
And number three, are you a Paiste or a Zildjian man?
I play Zildjians.
Why?
Well, I started out with Zildjians as a kid, and they've always been, for me, kind of the Rolls Royce.
And you are the Rolls Royce?
Burlington, Vermont, hello.
Well, hello. This is a real treat speaking with Hal Blaine. I've enjoyed your work on so many records, especially those recorded at Gold Star with the Phil Spector Wallace sound, remarkable sound.
Thank you.
The word genius, I think, is somewhat overused when describing record producers, but I think you've worked with a couple of people that certainly come close. Phil Spector and with the Wallace sound, Brian Wilson with the Beach Boys, and John Phillips with the Mamas and Papas. What are your reflections on these people as makers of music?
Well, as far as I was concerned, they were absolutely hit makers. They were easy to get along with in the studio. They paid me well. We made wonderful music, and it was always a party.
Thank you. San Francisco with Hal Blaine. Hello.
Larry, Hal, how are you this evening? Listen, could you comment a little bit about how it was working with Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys?
And what would they like to work with?
Before Pet Sounds and then after Pet Sounds?
Well, Brian Wilson, of course, we bantied that word around genius. This was a young kid that came in, had these wonderful songs. Didn't impress me a lot at first. I had been working with the Freshmen, the High-Lows, all of the popular groups of the day, and I just thought this kid was coming along and sort of trying to be like them.
Grass Valley, California. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Hal.
Yes, sir.
Dave Ward.
I can't hear you.
Dave Ward.
Steve?
Dave.
Hi, Steve.
No,
It's Dave Orr. Who's Dave Ord?
Remember me?
Don't know, sir.
I'm not sure, Dave.
Jimmy Haskell's copyist.
Oh, Dave, of course. How nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
Pleasure.
I just got in the car and heard you being interviewed and decided to give you a call.
Well, that's great, Dave. I'm happy to hear from you, and I hope I see you on the 19th at the Baked Potato, the night of the 19th.
Oh, great.
The 19th. Got a question, Dave?
Yeah, do you want to go to Russia?
Absolutely.
Haskell will give you a call then, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, our guest is Hal Blaine. That big night is in L.A. on the 19th. We go to Detroit. Hello.
Hal, did you ever do drugs with the King?
With the who?
With who?
Elvis.
No, sir. Never did drugs.
Did you ever see Elvis do drugs?
Never.
Omaha, Nebraska. Hello.
Yes, Larry and Hal. This is Dan. I'm calling from Omaha, and everybody's been talking about how great a drummer Hal was, and he certainly, I think, was the greatest. But no one has talked about what a great guy Hal is. And I used to call up. I used to play for the Sandpipers, and Hal was always so nice that I would call up, and he'd say, anytime that I'm recording, you call up, and you just come over. And learning from somebody like that is he was the best, the top, and this is such a treat to have him on radio to talk to.
Thank you, Dan.
All righty.
Thank you. Savannah, Georgia. Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Sounds like the minute I hear his voice, it sounds like my cousin Henry.
It's him. And twice in one evening. Hal, what I wanted to ask you, think you will be touring again as you did with John Denver?
At this point, I just have no idea, Henry.
Sounds like you're not in retirement anymore, Hal.
Well, I'm sort of semi-retired.
Yeah, but you're ready to go to Russia. You did jingles with Colonel Sanders. You're ready to
Absolutely.
go back to work with Better Tour. I'm thinking about it.
I'm a workhorse. I love it.
Okay, because it doesn't sound like a retired guy. Memphis, Tennessee. Hello.
Yes, I'd just like to tell Hal that I appreciate his fine work and TCB. Thank you, Hal.
I thank you.
Our guest is Hal Blaine, the incredible Hal Blaine. What a career. Detroit. Hello.
Yeah, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, as the man recall working with Richard Carpenter, was he sharp and what kind of a fellow was he? And then I had another follow-up.
Richard Carpenter, very, very sharp man.
Nice guy.
Wonderful pianist, wonderful arranger.
Good guy, too.
Yeah.
Excellent, wonderful man.
What about Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee?
Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee doesn't ring a bell at this moment.
Bluesmen from the old black people. They just died, in fact. Old Sonny Terry did last year.
You don't
Gosh,
know.
I'm awfully
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, we're going to pause and come back. Again, if you want to order the book from the Mixed Bookshelf of Hal Blaine and the Wrecking Crew, it's 1-800-233-9604. His extraordinary careers include 8 Grammy Records of the Year, 41 #1 records, and over 350 gold and platinum records. Back with Hal Blaine after these messages.